You know, I saw Atheist Gamer 100's video replying to Candy Cow 7. These two just seem to go back and forth, and I thought about something. They're very much alike, which explains why, confidentially, I like both of them, but they don't like me. You know, I've offered to be both of their friends, and to this day I still do. I don't hold any ill will toward either one of them, but neither one of them likes me because I represent a part of them that they're not willing to accept yet. I have accepted the way life is and the evils we have to face in reality, and they want to cling to these concepts that religion is going to make it better, or the disassociation of religion is going to make it better. And it's not about religion anymore. Religion is a passe thing, and I'll be talking about this in my book. Religion has had a large influence on mankind, and the remnants of that are visible to this day. But religion as a whole is a waning force. Religion does not have the influence it once did. It might be so in many other countries, but in Western society, religion is not the forefront of what you worship. You do worship a god, but it is not a god with a capital G. You worship the god of materialism. You worship the god of egoism. You worship the god of national identity, whether it be race or religion or something like that. But you do not worship the entity of God. You do not worship the concept of a divine figure that is God. And that is the difference. What I'm talking about is if you're going to abolish religion, you're going to have to abolish all religion. And doing that is very difficult because you do not want to come to terms with the fact that there is more to religion than just a god or lack thereof. There is the religion of family. There is the religion of peers. There is the religion of employers. There is the religion of even government. There is the religion of simply something is above you that commands those at the bottom, and you are on the bottom, or at least of lower rank than the one above you. And that this person above you has the privilege to command you because they know better than you. That you would kill yourselves if you did not have this wise and all-knowing entity to control your every action. That's what I talk about with moderators, because moderators are the most despicable and growing religion in today's world. Moderators control the internet, and by extension, they control the global economy, they control the information, they control the database. So all of the world's secrets, all of the world's money is circulating on this thing called the internet, and moderators run the show. They have the keys to that car. And that's why I talk about them most of all. That's why I focus completely on them, because this religion actually is the modern day Vatican. It is the modern day church that controls the entire world, and everybody is worshiping them. Everybody is worshiping some twat behind the computer screen that tells them right from wrong, even though they themselves are the epitome of wrong. They do absolutely no good for society. They do no good individually. They are just pure fucking evil, and everybody makes every excuse for them in the world. So, what I'm delving into here is that you cannot just simply say, I'm an atheist, and somehow you are immune to the effects of psychological enslavement. You have to say, I'm no longer going to be bound by the restrictions of family. I'm no longer going to be bound by the restrictions of social normalcy. I'm no longer going to be bound by, the legitimacy of every single god that has consumed my life. And that is a hard thing to do. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. And I'm certainly not saying that it won't, you won't mess up. But what I am saying is you have to see it for what it is. Friedrich Nietzsche delved into it. And he spent his whole life trying to convince people of it. And many people took his message the wrong way. But what it really comes down to is the fact that you will, in your lifetime, worship multiple gods. And these gods are not necessarily supernatural beings. They are simply concepts that you are willing to self-destroy yourself for. You're willing to sacrifice yourself for this idea. And what does this idea give back? What does this idea do that is worth sacrificing yourself for? You go to work every day, you pay your taxes, you follow the law, and what do you have to show for it? What do you get out of it? You know, that's what I'm talking about here. What I'm talking about here is how all of us, all of you watching this video right now, whether or not you agree with anything I fucking say, you go to work, you pay your taxes, you don't kill people, but somehow moderators get to fucking tell you what to do. Why? Why should anyone get to tell you what the fuck to do when you've done everything possible in order to get along in society? You're not doing anything to break the mold. You're not rocking the boat, but somehow you still have all these more so obligations. Don't you have a fuck enough of them? How much is enough for you? Apparently nothing. Apparently there is no limit. There is no line drawn for what is burden upon you. You have every single obligation that could ever possibly exist, but the moderators don't have an obligation. The moderators have no obligation to respect your freedom of speech. The moderators have no obligation to dignify you as a human being. The moderators have no accountability for who they ban or why. The moderators get to do whatever they want, whenever they want, and we're all just supposed to deal with it. How is that not a religion? How is that not holding someone up to the idealistic standard of a god? Because isn't that the kind of blindsided authority we associate with God? That because God is infinitely better and infinitely more trans-dimensional than us, that he transcends all our understanding of humanity, that we just have to take his word for it when he does something. If there's a flood, God must know what's up. If we lose a loved one, God has a plan for us. So why is it atheists can accept that that's bullshit, but then can turn around and worship normal everyday people as gods themselves? They revere these people. They revere these people so much, in fact, that they're willing to sacrifice rights they really don't have to sacrifice. They really don't have to give away their freedom of speech and shit, but they choose to. Now, I'm not saying that they wouldn't have to fight for it. Certainly, these moderators are not going to give up without a fight. They're going to fight tooth and nail, and they're going to make your life a living fucking hell. But what is the alternative? Submission? Obedience? Slavery? So, it's either fight for what you can get, or just, take your lickings and be an animal for the rest of your fucking life. That's what it comes down to. Are you free or are you not free? And Mark Anthony has made his decision. He chooses not to be free. And as much as he talks about other people and likes to misquote the Bible, because I have never once read in the Bible, judge someone by the company they keep, or whatever the fuck he keeps saying. I have read in the Bible that it is forbidden to idol worship. But that is exactly what everybody does, even those so-called Christians. They idol worship because they not only obey the rules of men out of fear. It's not simply fear. It is respect. It is admiration. They admire their authority figures in whatever form that takes on. They admire them to the point where they would listen whether or not there was a gun to their head anyway. So that's what I'm getting at here. And a lot of people will deny it. But at the end of the day, that's why you bash Jim Prophet. It has nothing to do with the fact that my ideas are fundamentally so flawed or insane or just that alien. It's the fact that you revere men who don't give a shit about you as though they were a god. So, in reality, the only real atheist here is me, Cult of the Old Gods, and a few other people who see the world for what it really is, a sham. A sham and a series of control grids. It is just a multitude of different people trying to control you in different ways. And the church might do that by deceiving you into believing that if you act in a way that they don't approve of, you're going to burn in hell. But that is a waning force. Nobody believes that crap anymore because we have this thing called science now. And all signs point to scientifically, it just doesn't seem that plausible. But that doesn't mean that people aren't being indoctrinated, and it certainly doesn't mean that people don't have just as many, if not more, obligations than they did when they were crawling in the mud as serfs, worshipping a man in the sky. If anything, people are more religious now. They're just religious in a different way. They're just indoctrinated in a different way. And it has different circumstances and it has different outcomes, but at the end of the day, they're still worshiping something, and this worship is killing them. It is literally killing them. So I hope that gives you a better understanding of where I'm coming from here. I'm really hoping to get this book published, and I'm hoping that people will start to wake up and see this because I don't want to live in a world like that. I've lived in it long enough. As long as I've been alive, that's more than enough. I have bared my cross. I was fucking crucified. You were crucified. Supposedly, Jesus Christ was crucified so we wouldn't have to be. Isn't that why he died? So he died for our sins. Well, then that's enough. No more blood needs to be shed. And yet continually, we do have to shed blood. In the name of moderators, in the name of society, in the name of the greater good. We're all having to do our part. We're all having to bust our ass and waste our lives for other people. And at the end of the day, we don't get any recognition for it. We don't get any respect for it. We're treated as the scum of the earth. And meanwhile, all we are is selfless. So, I just hope that better helps you understand what I'm trying to get at. See you later.